Hey guys, it's me, Cali. Today I am bringing you my January mission inspiration from Mike Deakin's Facebook group. Check out all the links below. This is the first one for 2017 and he's changed it up a bit. There are fewer prompts and he also incorporates some color choices as well as word prompts, etc. You could take it, leave it, modify it, do whatever you wish. This is what I've chosen to do, and I had a lot of fun with this page. So if this looks like something you'd like to see, stick around and I'll show you how I created it. Okay, let's get started. As always, I'm using my Delusions Journal by Ranger. This is our first mission for 2017. I've just put some masking tape down the center of my page and I have some wax paper. I'm ready to go. So the first prompt is to glue torn fragments of junk mail, and I'm going to use this Publishers Clearinghouse packet they sent to me. Take my chances that I'm not going to win. And I've already ripped up some of the pieces, and I'm just going to use my Elmer's glue stick and just glue down some of these randomly all over the page. So, oh look, this one has a star in it. Knowing me, I'll probably fill up the page, but let's see what we get. Okay, so I'm just going to randomly do that all over and I'll be back when that's done. Okay, there you have it, guys. And of course I didn't leave one spot uncovered, so the next step is to add strips of ribbon or trim. And I looked through my stash to see if I had any of the suggested colors, and of course I don't. So I have some of this ribbon kind of left over from Yule, and I'm going to just take some random strips and glue them down. And you guys see, here's my winning number, so if they call it, I have proof. You know, I'm just gonna randomly glue down some pieces of ribbon. Alright, I'll use my Aleene's tacky glue and we'll see how this goes. As usual, I have no plan of where this page is going to go. I try not to look ahead to the prompts. I really want it to be a surprise. So let's just show you that. And I have a little spatula here. Alright, so I am not going to cover up the whole entire page, but I will adhere these down and hopefully they'll stick okay, and I'll see you back here when that's done. Okay, that's done, and I had a really hard time with this ribbon. It's so shiny that it didn't want to stick to the page at all, so we'll see how that works out in the end, but for now it's on and it's dry. And the next step is to cover the page with gesso or paint. I've decided to do both, and I'm going to attempt to use some of the similar colors that Mike recommended. I'm going to use this Blue Lagoon by Americana. This is a multi-surface satin. I have a dark navy blue by Folk Art, which I actually had to water down. It was pretty old. And I have this yellow, which is brighter than the colors he's recommending, but close enough. This is Buttercup by Anita's. And I'm using the last of my Daler and Rowney Simply Acrylic Gesso. So I've put these out in a palette dish, and I'm going to use a brush to do the gesso, and I have some bubble wrap, which I thought I would use for the paints. So I'm just going to kind of do a light coat. See where this takes us. I'll cover up these winning numbers, but we know what they are. Yeah, just almost dry brushing this gesso on. Tone down some of that bright shininess. And let's see. Okay, I'm not going to show you the whole me painting the page, but I will just give you an idea of what I'm going to do with these colors here. Let's just go in with this lighter blue. Okay. And okay, we'll just add it around. Let's try some yellow. I rarely, if ever, use yellow in my artwork. I don't know why. It's such a happy color, but maybe this will change. And then I'll show you the dark. Oh, kind of liking that. Alright, so I'm just going to continue patting around until I'm satisfied, and I'll see you back when I'm all patted out. Okay, this is nice and dry now, and I'm pretty happy with it. You know, I had to cover the whole entire page. In addition to the colors that I showed you, I also used some of this Deco Art Traditions in ultramarine blue. Yeah. So our next prompt is to add secret journaling. And I'm just going to use a black Sharpie marker, and I'm not going to tell you what I'm writing because it's going to be a secret, but I'm just going to do some journaling across the page, and when I'm finished with that, I'll come back and I'll show you. Okay, that's done, and I really should have used one of my Faber-Castell markers because the quickest way to ruin a Sharpie is to draw over acrylic paint. But anyway, I knew that before I started, so it looks kind of cool in the background, and it still remains a secret. So our next prompt is to add a focal image, and I have no idea what we're going to use. So let me go look through my stash or see if I feel compelled to draw something. I'm not sure yet, but I'll be back and let you know. See you in a minute. Okay, I always have trouble picking a focal image, but what I decided to do was take a page from this Peace and Love adult coloring book and cut it out, and I used my, this is the one I'm doing, I glued it onto a piece of mixed media paper with my glue stick just to stiffen it up a little bit, and then I'm going to use my good old Aleene's and glue it down to the page. So that's what I've decided, and I'll see you back here when that's done. Okay, this is what we're looking at. I let this dry overnight. I just outlined it using one of my Prismacolor markers in ultramarine, and I also did a little work with my Sharpie. So we're on to the next prompt, which is to add drips or splatters, and I just figured we'd go in with some more paint, and I have this, it's white or cotton ball Americana multi-surface satin, and I also want to use, you know, a page can't be complete for me without some purple, this Folk Art fluorescent glow purple, and I've watered them down in my little palette dishes here, and I'm going to use a fan brush and a toothbrush. So I'm just going to randomly splatter. I am going to cover this up a little bit, just a little bit, maybe for now. I may change my mind. I don't mind if the frame part gets it, but let's just see. I'll give you an example. Just some drops. Okay, maybe I'll try the toothbrush too. If you're worried about getting things all over the place when you splatter, you can always put a big box or pieces of cardboard around. Okay, so that's that, and let's try the pink or the purple now. Same thing, I'm just going to go in with this fan brush here. Of course, that got nice and light from the white. Of course, I like it. Okay. Do a little more up in that corner. Go in with the toothbrush. Okay, I'm going to let this dry, and we'll be back with the next step. Okay, so this is nice and dry now, and prompt number 7 is to make marks with paint or ink. I think I've done enough paint, so I'm going to do some stamping, and I have a homemade stamp that I got in some Happy Mail, and I'm going to use my black StazOn, and let's just kind of randomly stamp around. Shout out to Crystal Dragonfly for the stamp. Oh, that looks really cool. Oh, I love it. Yeah, I'll put a link to her channel below as well. Another artist. It's really cool. Okay. I think we're good. Maybe a few more. I love this. Thank you, Crystal. I love it. And she just made it out of a bottle cap and some foam, I believe. Okay, that's good. Don't you think? Maybe one more. It's addicting. Dots are addicting. Okay, that's it. And you know what, guys? There's one more prompt left and we're done. So number 8 is to add a frame or a border. And I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but when I decide, I'll come back and I'll show you. See you in a minute. Okay, guys, I gave this some thought. I initially was just going to kind of, you know, cop out and do a black border around, but I decided to just take a risk, and I'm going to use some of this twine, and this has been the star of the show for this mission, my Aleene's, and I'm just going to go around. Now, some of this ribbon on the bottom here is still wanting to come up, so my hope is that maybe this will help hold that down too. I'm just going to go all the way around. Yeah, see that piece, that whole piece is coming up. We're going to fix it. I'm going to go all the way around. I'm just going to show you, and then I'm going to continue. I'll probably wrap it a few times, but it might look cool, I'm thinking. What do you guys think? We just go around like this a few times on the inside, and hopefully I can get that to stick. It might with the paint on top. What do you think? I can't really see what I'm doing down here. So I'm going to continue around and around. I'm committing to it. We'll see where it takes us. And I'll see you back here when I have it all down. Alright? See you in a minute. Okay guys, what do you think? I really like the way it turned out. I think the string was a great idea, and I also used it around here, and it kind of just pulls everything together. It was super busy before, and I just think this adds like a grounding element to it. I also rounded off the corners a little bit here, and I like this a lot. I had a lot of fun with this challenge. So check out Mike Deakin's Mission Inspiration group. I'll leave all the links below, as well as all my other links. If you like this video and you've been inspired, I would love it if you give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed, and I will see you next month for another Mission Inspiration. See you guys soon. I'll put some pics in so you get a better idea.